Good morning and welcome to our spring open house here at Yeshiva University. My name is Chad Austin and I am the Chief Enrollment and Management Officer here at YU. We would love to be welcoming each and every one of you onto our campus today, but for obvious reasons, we've had to bring this information to you in this virtual format. We have invited a diverse assortment of our current students as well as some of our past alumni to discuss their experiences here at Yeshiva University and how it has prepared them to be part of the next generation of Jewish leaders. Now, we are all on campus today, but we are in separate rooms to ensure the health and safety of all of our participants. As we prepare to welcome a new group of freshmen onto our campus this fall, we are preparing to do so in accordance with all state and federal guidelines to ensure that all students have that rich and vibrant experience that is known as a YU education. And now, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our panelists.
Hi, my name is Tehila. I graduated from Stern in 2019. I majored in biochemistry and Judaic studies, and now I'm a first-year medical student at Weill Cornell.
Hi, my name is Etta Rapp. I'm from Washington Heights. I'm a senior at Stern now, double majoring in math and computer science, and when I graduate, I'm going to be a software engineer at Google in New York City.
Hi, my name is Debbie. I'm currently a senior at YU, and I'm majoring in accounting.
Hi, my name is Ayelet. I graduated in 2020 with a major in psychology and a minor in studio art, and I'm currently working as a coordinator of an intensive outpatient treatment program in a behavioral health clinic and planning on going to graduate school next year.
Okay, we're going to start the questions with Tehila. Tehila, why did you come to Yeshiva University?
Okay, so I knew that I was really interested in studying pre-medical studies, and I also knew that I really wanted to be on a campus with the rich Jewish community. I also was really interested in continuing to be involved in Judaic studies. I knew that I probably would want to at least minor, if not major, in that as well. And there was no better place to kind of get that Jewish community, have a really great, stellar pre-medical education, and also continue with my Judaic studies than at YU.
Great. Etta, same question to you. Why did you choose YU?
I chose to come to YU also for the fantastic combination of excellent secular studies and excellent Judaic studies. As a computer science and math major, both departments at Stern are fantastic, and also the Jewish classes, the girls, the shiurim on campus. There's so many fantastic opportunities here.
Debbie, now I know you took a different route to come to YU. Can you talk to us about that?
Yep, so it's actually so funny because when I graduated high school, I did a semester abroad. I went on semester at sea, and we were traveling on a ship, and we went to Asia and Africa, and I was learning about so many different cultures, but I didn't really have so much depth about my own culture. And after coming back, I decided to study accounting. I was going to a local 2-year college, and I was out to dinner with my mom, and she's like, Debbie, soon you have to transfer and get a bachelor's degree. And as she was saying that to me, one of the deans of Cy Sims, his wife was sitting there, and she said, oh, my husband's the dean of the business school, you should talk to him. And I wasn't even planning to go to YU, but he took me to coffee, and he was really caring, and eventually I decided that I wanted to go here for the accounting program. But I soon realized that with the Judaic studies, YU really helped to fill a void in my soul that I didn't even know existed.
Very impressive. Thank you for sharing that. And last but not least, Ayelet, how did you wind up at YU?
So for me, Yeshiva University was kind of the obvious choice. Besides for the fact that I came from a very YU family, I also knew that this was the place that I wanted to continue my education. All of my role models were graduates of Yeshiva University, and also for me, being in an environment where I'm surrounded by such incredible people that are like-minded and share my value. I mean, that's really such a unique aspect of YU, and it was a way to further my Jewish education without compromising my secular education, so that was like really the best choice for me.
Great. Tehila, you are a recent graduate of YU. Can you tell us what you have been doing since you graduated?
Sure. So after YU, I was really lucky to be able to spend my gap year at a YU graduate program called GPATS, which is the Graduate Program in Advanced Talmudic Studies. And that was a really incredible opportunity to be able to spend a year learning under incredible rabbaim in a YU graduate program, just to kind of take a year off before diving into my medical and career goals. But it was amazing. I was able to just devote an entire year just to learning Gemara under incredible rabbaim and teachers.
And you mentioned something about medical goals. What does that entail?
Well, I'm in medical school. I hope to be a doctor one day. And I really found that my time at YU really prepared me for at least what I've seen so far in medical school. I feel like I have had a really incredible background that has prepared me for my coursework, for interacting with patients, for speaking about difficult medical ethical conundrums that I started to think about in my time at YU. So I really think that YU prepared me very well for where I'm at now.
Etta, you are a dual major in computer science and math. I get tired just thinking about the amount of coursework that you probably have. Did you know that you were going to pursue either of these majors when you came to YU?
So I always enjoyed math, and I always thought I would do something related to math, but I wasn't sure exactly what, since there's so many applications of math and I wasn't sure how I would apply it. I first was introduced to computer science in 12th grade, and I really enjoyed that. I found it had a lot of the math skills, but was much more applicable. You really had an opportunity to make a difference with it. So when I came to Stern, I figured I would start majoring in both. I would see where it took me, maybe switch majors, maybe make one of them into a minor. And I just loved both departments. I found that they complemented each other really well, and I stuck with both of them.
And you're planning to graduate this May, and you told me earlier that you have a job lined up even prior to graduating. Can you tell us what you will be doing upon graduation?
Sure. So I have a job offer for when I graduate to work as a software engineer at Google in New York City, working on Google Cloud. I interned there last summer and got a full-time offer after that.
Great. Debbie, you too are getting ready to graduate in 2 months from now. What are your plans after graduation?
Yep, so upon graduation, I'll be joining PwC as an associate in their insurance practice. And I got to have some really good, they started recruiting from 2 years ago, and I did their internship last year. I took a leave of absence, and it was a really, really great experience. And from my teachers at YU, like Rothenstein, Bruce Kamens, Ron Steen, I felt that they cared so much about their students and were very, very adept in their knowledge of accounting.
It's quite impressive to have a job lined up even prior to graduating. Can you say that the Career Services office at Yeshiva University prepared you? Did they help you with the internship, any interview skills or anything like that?
100%. Actually, it was really funny because the Accounting Society, they had organized a panel of people who studied accounting at YU and were in their respective fields. And there was someone who I really, really wanted to meet because she was a senior at PwC, and so I wanted to talk to her. It was while I was recruiting and interviewing. And I went to the Career Center, and someone there told me about Women in Business, the Women in Business initiative. And she said, Debbie, I have a great mentor for you. I'm going to reach out to her and ask if she's willing to speak with you. And it ended up being the same exact person from that panel. And since then, she's been my mentor and really given me great advice and really prepared me. And now I feel so welcome working there and feel like I know alumni there, and I'm really looking forward.
Ayelet, tell us about your graduate school plans.
So I decided to further my education in psychology by attending graduate school to get my doctorate in clinical psychology. And I'm going to be doing that at Furkauf, which is actually Yeshiva University's program.
That's great to hear. Now, you were an undergraduate psychology major here at YU. Did your studies in that program inspire you to pursue this graduate degree, or was this part of your career path from when you entered YU?
So I definitely knew that I wanted to do something in the realms of psychology, helping people, meeting with people. But being in Yeshiva University really sparked that interest of mine by the different courses that I took. I mean, Professor Greif's class, Abnormal Psychology, really sparked my interest and actually came in handy a few times during my internship and now job, where I was able to help diagnose very complex clients, and everyone was like very impressed, and I'm like, yeah, it's Yeshiva University. And also, Dr. Bacon's classes really prepared us. Actually, I was in an interview for one of the graduate schools, and after discussing that I graduated from Yeshiva University, this faculty member actually said, oh, so that means you had Dr. Bacon. And then he continues on by saying that out of all the students he has going through this school, he finds that Dr. Bacon's students are the most prepared for his course. So I thought that was really cool. Also, Professor Chalick's class, she offers these really unique research seminars where there's only about 5 people in the class, and I was able to really utilize that. That was really the foundation of all my research, being able to write research papers and having the foundation for that. And I've actually published a few papers, one of which I'm first author, and I really couldn't have done that without Dr. Chalick's help. And she also continued on by writing an amazing letter of recommendation for me, which was really appreciated and amazing.
Great, thank you for sharing that. Good luck at Furkov. Tehila, you had the opportunity to spend Shabbos on campus frequently. Can you talk about that experience?
Sure. I loved spending Shabbos at Stern. First of all, it was just a great opportunity to spend time with your friends and we're not studying now, let's just all hang out. Shabbos on campus is really beautiful. We have a minyan on campus, so kind of everyone's in the school building. We eat meals together. So it's a really warm, friendly environment. I made so many friends by staying in for Shabbos. I live in New York, so I lived close by, and I really chose to stay in because it was just a fantastic, warm, community-building experience that was really very special.
Great. Etta, you too had some Shabbos experiences, and one of them was a pretty unique experience related to your major and celebrating Shabbos. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So one Shabbos, the Computer Science Club, in conjunction with the Shabbos programming, had a computer science themed project where several of the guests on campus for the weekend were computer science professors. I thought it was fantastic to see other computer science students and professors in a different environment and to spend time with them in that way. There were a few talks throughout Shabbos where computer science professors spoke about different projects they're doing, different research projects that combine Torah knowledge with their computer science background. Professor Broder's working on a project finding old Torah scrolls and identifying where they come from based on different technical differences in them. Professor Waxman does different lexical analysis of Hebrew using his computer science background in natural language processing. So it was so interesting to see that throughout the weekend and to spend quality time with other computer science majors in that environment.
That sounds very unique and an experience you'd only get at YU. Thanks for sharing that. Ayelet, tell us about your Shabbos experience and the main difference you see between spending Shabbos on campus and potentially going home.
So for me, actually spending Shabbat on campus was the highlight of my week. I loved Shabbat on campus, aside from the programming, which they really make an effort to make it extremely amazing for the students, but also I think just being able to form these everlasting relationships with people outside of the classroom. I mean, I know for me, my closest friends are friends that I've made on campus for Shabbat, and I've really just always loved being able to spend time with my roommates and be able to invite people into our room and throw parties and all of these different things, and that's something that was really amazing that you don't always get if you just go home and don't take advantage of everything YU has to offer outside of just the classes.
Debbie, I want to talk to you about your transition to YU. As you came from a public high school and then also attended to a community college. How have you been able to dive in and become a part of the YU community?
So I found that there were so many people like me that I was not the only one, and there's YU is so diverse. I don't know if people really realize that, but people from all different backgrounds, all different countries, and we really unite in the same love and the same passions, and I felt so welcomed from the moment I got here. And in terms of Jewish education, Chad, I love to say that YU academics prepared me for work, but my YU education prepared me for life. Like, I'm like, in what other classes do I get to learn about working on my character traits, about how to be a good friend, about how to conduct business fairly, like going into the business world, you know? So where else can I get college credit to learn these things, you know? And I found that, honestly, to be the most rewarding part of my YU experience.
Truly no place but here, I'm sure. Thanks for sharing that background with us. Tehila, you were the editor of Derech HaTeva. Can you tell us how you got involved in that?
So Derech HaTeva is a journal on campus that essentially combines Judaic studies and science. And students write articles about kind of Jewish perspectives on different science and medical topics. So as a Judaic studies and biochemistry major, that was so up my alley, kind of combined all my interests. Dr. Babich, who is my genetics professor, saw that that was something I was interested in. He encouraged me to get involved and write for the paper my first year on campus. And then the next year I had the opportunity to work as an editor, and then the next year as editor-in-chief. And it was really a fantastic opportunity, not only to kind of explore the fields on my own, but also to kind of help my peers explore that as well. So that was really great.
And you were also a TA in a physics class, but you weren't a physics major. How did you get asked to do that?
So one of the amazing things about YU is that we have such small classes. So we really just have an opportunity to have these really close relationships with our professors, which is really incredible. So I was a TA for physics, but I think that the more exciting thing I got to do was I was the TA for organic chemistry, which meant that I taught recitation to basically my peers. And that was really cool, and it's an opportunity that I only had because Dr. Ron Drury, who's the organic chemistry professor in Stern, was really open and inviting to people to do research with him, and was always had his office door open for us to ask questions. So I kind of went over to him after class and I was like, "Hi, Dr. Drury, do you have room in your lab?" And that was really just the start of opportunity after opportunity where I taught organic chemistry recitation. I did research with him. I got nominated for a Crissell Fellowship, which is an in-house fellowship where I did a year-long project plus a summer doing research in the lab. I published a paper where I was first author. I got to go to a conference in San Diego, which was super cool, and present a poster there. So that type of opportunity that kind of just came out of we're in small classes. We have relationships with our professors. Is something that I found really unique and really special about YU.
Ayelet, you are one of the student ambassadors for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions, which means that you introduce prospective students and their families to campus, you do tours, and assist our office. Do I hear potentially a future career in admissions for you, or are you going to stick to Furkoff School of Psychology?
I will say that selling Yeshiva University was not something that was hard for me. I wasn't even getting paid to do it, but I really am such a fan of it. I think that there's such a unique opportunity to get so involved because of the size and how it's a smaller university. That led to really so many opportunities that I took advantage of and was able to utilize. And I get so excited to share that with incoming students, potential students, because I am very proud of it. I mean, being in Yeshiva University, I have a lot of pride for everything that we stand for, everything that we give, and I love sharing that with other people.
We love hearing that. We love having you part of our team. You also have a chavruta of Mechina students. For those watching today, can you tell our audience what the Mechina program is and what makes it unique at YU?
I was able to get involved in it on my own in an individual way, outside of my family, outside of my mom, and that included this Mechina Chavruta program, which I was involved in, which was an opportunity. I studied at MMY. I have a strong background in Jewish studies, and I was able to use that and share it with someone who doesn't have such a strong background. So I was able to learn once a week, twice a week, whatever it was. We learned about tefillah and different sort of topics that they were interested in, and I really loved that. It was an opportunity to share things that I am passionate about and also to create friends outside of maybe my classic friend zone, and I loved that.
I'm actually part of that program that you were just talking about, I yell at, and I get to learn twice a week. Her mom actually found me someone, Ms. Schechter, and I literally have it down in my calendar twice a week. I look forward to it so much, and it's like I realize the power of learning one-on-one with someone, and we both talk about our week, and we both talk about how we incorporated the things that we learn, and I love that program so much. But anyway, I decided to join this panel because as a transfer student, I feel like I do have a unique story, and I did find my own way to YU that isn't, the normal way. And so I really feel, as you said, that there is a place here for everyone.
That's so true. Debbie, can you tell us something fun you did outside of the classroom, whether it's a club, a student organization, or something like that?
Yep, so I know I studied accounting, but I wasn't always so great at math, and so, which is actually a misconception about accountants. We don't all love math, but so I was involved in this program called iTutor, where I'm actually starting it again, but I would come, now it's on Zoom, it's gonna be on Zoom, but I would do it in person. I would come to a school in Washington Heights, and I would volunteer in a 3rd grade classroom, and the whole class was in Spanish. And I spoke Spanish, so I got to practice it, and it was a math class, and I got to work with some students and really feel like I could make an impact and do something outside the classroom, and like be in New York City and to do all the things that I can in New York City to make an impact, I think.
And Ayala, what was your go-to outside of the classroom?
I would say also the different community outreach programs that I was involved in through Yeshiva University, such as Torah Tours, which was a favorite of mine, where we went into different smaller Jewish communities and with a group of YU and Stern students, where we brought this kind of Jewish presence and young and energetic presence, and I loved that. I've been to a bunch of different communities, and I really loved that. And also, I would say Start Science, which is an opportunity to go within our community in Washington Heights, where we would go with a group of people into elementary schools and teach science in these schools. And I just loved all these different opportunities to get involved in our community outside of our courses at Yeshiva University.
Etta, being a dual major in math and computer science, I imagine you were very marketable and very sought after upon graduation. Can you talk about the job search and the outcome?
Sure. So as a junior, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do when I graduated. I was still thinking if I would go more into math or computer science, industry or academia. I was applying to all sorts of internships in different fields, still trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I ended up getting offers from diverse internships in diverse fields. I had an offer as a software engineering intern at Google, which was what I ended up doing. I had an offer as a software engineer at Goldman Sachs in financial technology, which was a little bit different. I had offers to do research in theoretical computer science at the University of Maryland or University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Lots of options. I ended up speaking to lots of computer science professors at Stern College, at Yeshiva College. They were all really supportive and helped me think through the pros and cons of the different paths and what would be best for me, and what very much focusing on what would be best for me as a person, not just for YU as a whole. And they really helped me think things through and were so supportive throughout. I ended up going with the software engineering internship at Google and decided to take the full-time offer there.
Tell us about the impactful faculty that you encountered here at YU, the lessons they gave you in the classroom, the mentoring they gave you outside of the classroom, and how they prepared you for the next step in your professional journey.
First of all, I just want to say that one of the incredible things about the small class size is just that you have those relationships with all those professors. I got a letter of recommendation from every science faculty that I had while I was at Stern. That's unheard of.
They sound incredible. Etta, what do you want to share with the next generation of YU students through this panel today?
I think one misconception about YU is that the computer science and math departments are not that strong, and one thing that I'm very passionate about is that both of those departments are incredible. On the math side, a really great opportunity at YU is that YU also has the CATS graduate school, and they have a graduate program in math, a master's program, and a PhD program. So as an undergraduate student, I've been able to take graduate level math courses, which I could apply towards a master's in the future if I wanted to. That CATS school gives the YU undergrad math program a lot of great math professors who are doing research. I'm doing research with a math professor right now. That's also a great opportunity. And on the computer science side, the computer science department has grown tremendously in the past few years. It's been hugely successful. It lands students top jobs consistently. So I think both of those departments at YU are so strong.
Tehila, you could have been doing so many other things on a Sunday morning, yet you decided to join this panel. Can you tell us, can you give some words of wisdom or advice to the next generation of YU students?
Sure. I think one of the reasons why I so loved my time in YU was that not only did it kind of give me that strong education that enables me kind of to apply to medical school as a competitive candidate and prepare me for my studies there, but it also just gave me an incredible group of friends, of peers, who not only are so passionate about their careers and continuing to learn, but also love learning Torah and are passionate about Torah. And kind of having the ability to have this group of friends and companions that I share so many values with, but who are also so serious about their careers and their future is something that I'll forever be grateful for.
And Ayelet, same question to you. What can you share, what words of wisdom can you share with the next generation of Jewish leaders?
So I will say you have this incredible opportunity to take full advantage of the different opportunities that Yeshiva University has to offer. Don't be afraid to get involved. Get involved in as many different things as you want. I mean, I know I was someone who took advantage of so many different things that YU has to offer, and I miss it so much. I miss being there, even though I am still so connected to Yeshiva University, the faculty members, and not to mention, of course, my incredible friends that I made, these everlasting relationships, people that I did not know when I came into Yeshiva University, and I formed such a strong bond with. Take advantage of the location of Yeshiva University, specifically Stern. We are in Midtown. There is a lot of fun things going on there. I'm thinking about all the times that I waited on the TKTS line to get cheap Broadway tickets, or going to different events in Bryant Park, like the ice skating, and really just take advantage of all of this because you're so lucky to have it. And I wish I could go back and do it all again because it was really such an amazing part of my life.
It sounds like all four of you had two common themes: the values of YU and the community that you get by coming to YU. And that's not something that many other universities can provide to their students. So thank you for sharing that. Have a great day.